Hey VC, how's it going? Right, something a bit different tonight. As you can see, I'm joined again with Paul Madam Sin. Great to see you again, Paul. And the reason why Paul is with me tonight is because tonight is a rockabilly revival night for us because I've got this big box of records here, which is full of rockabilly reissues. So I've got records everywhere, whatever, you know. So
Right.
here they are, they're everywhere, rockabilly singles everywhere. And what happened was a local record shop, Music is the Answer. I've spoken about the shop before. Many of you will watch the owner's videos. Brum reseller, John. He's had a record shop for the last 4 years. He's now opened up, I think, three stores. He's got a couple of other outlets as well. And yeah, he sort of documented his journey, you know, from starting a record shop through to where he is now through his YouTube videos. So, but very entertaining anyway. So he recently bought 3,000 records from a collection. I think it was a hoarder. The chap was, the guy's obviously died, and it's all rockabilly, blues, old timey jazz, bluegrass, that sort of stuff. And I had a bit of a rifle through it yesterday, and I just made a passing comment that I could do with just sitting down in a shop and listening to a load of these Rockabilly 45 just to get my head around them. And he said, well, just take the box home with you, John, and play them at your own leisure and bring them back when you're done. So that's what I'm doing. Jolly decent at the chat, I'm sure that
Yeah.
you'll agree. So anyway, so I thought, well, as I've got all these 45s, all these Rockabilly tunes, who better to give me a little bit of an insight into this music than Madam Sin?
God bless you, Governor.
Right. Right. So we start at the beginning, then, yeah. So I pulled out a few here straight away. So Charlie
Nice.
Feathers.
Oh, really? What label is it on, John?
Right. So
King.
I say they're all reissues. So
Okay.
right. So first up,
Oh, Rolling Rock. Is it that certain female?
yeah, roll. Yeah, that's certain female. Yeah,
She set me free on the other side.
that's the one. Yeah.
Now, let me tell you something about that, right?
Go on
Because
then. Off we go.
okay, you don't mind it. You don't mind if I like tell you something about each one or whatever,
Go on
no?
then. Off you go. Yeah.
Right. Now, Rockin' Ronnie Weiser, bless his heart, out of California. It'll say on the label. I can't remember what part of California he's from, but Van Nuys is in it, John. It's Van
Van
Nuys.
Nuys. Yeah. Van Nuys. Yeah. Looking
So
right.
anyway, the Rockin' Ronnie, bless him, he came from Italy, I think it was, in the 60s, and he came over because he was a rockabilly fan. His idol, Gene Vincent. And he couldn't believe that Americans were listening to stuff like the Byrds and Jefferson Airplane and that. And it really upset him so much that he set about tracing his heroes, and he got Gene Vincent
Yeah.
because Gene was living in Los Angeles by then, you know, and
Right.
he was there, and he contacted him, and he managed to contact Charlie Feathers. He recorded those singles in his living room
Right.
on a 4 track, right? And it's people like Ray Campy playing the slap bass on them. They're fantastic. But I'm pretty certain that that certain female was used in a Tarantino film.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
didn't know that. So, well, there's loads of stuff on this label in this box. So
Is there? Oh, how exciting, man. I bought them all as they came out, man.
right. Okay. So a bit more Charlie Feathers. This is Get With It on
Yeah.
Meteor Records.
Nice. Yeah. Now, that is a repro,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but that is still very sought after because it's one of the early ones, that Meteor
Yeah.
one.
I think I did have a look at that actually. I think it does well over 100 quid, that one.
Yeah, and the group, the Meteors, the psychobilly group, they named themselves after that label.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Very good. Right. Right. You're earning your keeper. You're doing well. Right. Charlie Feathers, a bit more. If you were mine to lose, Ooby Dooby.
wow. Oh,
And that,
is that what one is what label is that,
it's
John?
on Feathers Records.
Oh, that's one of his own that he used to
Okay.
press up. That's nice. That it back in Memphis, he used to sell a few of his records at gigs and things.
Oh, right. So
That's not.
that's not necessarily a reissue then. That looks like one of his own, does it?
Yeah, yeah,
And then same again, same label, his version of Blue Suede Shoes.
yeah.
Back with We're Getting Close to Being Apart.
That's it. Which he originally did, of course, back in the 50s.
Okay. So when would that have been done? When would that have come out? This
The
film?
70s, as far as I remember. Yeah,
Right.
it's
Okay.
something I've got. He did this one album where he's got his son Bubba playing guitar on it. Of course, Bubba's all very well playing rockabilly, but he wants to do his version on it. So he's got a wah pedal. And they're doing things like Blue Moon of Kentucky and stuff. And he's going, wow, 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 wow. It's, do you know, I had to get rid of it because his voice sounds so good, Charlie Feathers. But that guitar is too much for me.
I've got to say, Paul, I want to hear that album. That appeals to me. That does.
You look out for it. It's got black cover. It's got a fantastic photo of Charlie on it. And his vocals are just
Oh right.
they're superb.
With a large on my mind, I'm looking for me a woman, but she's mighty hard to find. Lord, yes, my country cousin, check the hottest spots in town. Oh, that little bitty woman, but she just ain't around. I'm looking, everything high and low. Don't wanna miss the spot. Keep it on the go. Just a little bitty woman, how much you'll never know.
Right. Okay. Right. So that's the all we got for Charlie Feathers. Right. So this one on Starlight.
No, is that Al Wayne?
This is Air Force Blues, Curly Jim.
Oh, Curly Jim. Yeah, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, very nice. That's probably one of the.
A bit of a Teddy boy, John.
Okay.
Because this is the stuff you're pulling out, right? No way, unless he was a Ted, right? Or he knew a group of Teds. There's no way he would have known who Charlie Feathers was.
Right.
You know, back then and all that.
Right.
And Starlight, there's no way you'd have something like that Curly Jim one. I mean, that's straight from the rock and roll scene, you know.
Yeah, so obviously, here we go, talking about Ted's.
Oh, wow, man. I said, oh, man. Joe Hill I thought it over on there. Yeah. Oh, God. Do you know what? Honestly, he's definitely a fucking cheese spread, this geezer. Honestly, he definitely is, because do you know, as soon as, it was funny because I had an inkling earlier on, John, when he was showing the video where he's going through the LPs, in the 10 inches, he had in front the Vipers.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
The Skiffle group. Now, no one but a Teddy boy is going to have like Skiffle records. That's so funny because those for Ted's only were done by a guy called Rex, and they were boots. But yeah, oh God, I remember all those like yesterday. These are 70s boots that they used to sell at gigs.
Yeah.
Very much like they used to do on the Northern Soul scene.
Yeah.
Where they used to make bootlegs of American records. It's impossible to get singles, you know.
And they're just clumping them all together on these EPs.
Oh, man. Now, Jesus. There were geezers who had that tattooed on the forearm. I kid you not, man. But you know what? But playing a double bass, playing a slap bass.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So you can see it now, can't you, John?
You can do, yeah.
Oh, wow, man. I'll tell you what. That really takes me back, John. That's proper 70s cheese spreads, that is.
Right, okay. Yeah, for real Gone Cats, there's another one. There he's with his bass. So back to so this is I'm assuming this is another 70s reissue. I don't know whether you know this tune. I'm sure you do. Rocket Morgan.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's great. Yeah, on Zin. Zin was a southern label, a Louisiana label, a bit like Excello.
Okay.
Rocket Morgan had a hit on the rockin' scene called "You're Humbugging Me," and that was sort of like a one that everyone was after. You know,
Yeah, no, that's in here actually. I've seen that.
have you? Ah,
Yeah, I'll have to pull that out in a minute if I can see it. But yeah. Oh, here we are.
yeah,
Yeah, pink reissue of that. Yeah, so
yeah, brilliant.
very nice. Well, there you go. Right, next up, Jeff Daniels, Switchblade Sam.
Switchblade Sam. Yeah. Now that's interesting. You got that because he obviously kept on collecting because that's an 80s
Okay.
reissue. That is, yeah, that's an 80s one. So he obviously kept up, still collecting past that 70s Teddy Boy era.
Yeah.
He'd gone right into it was about 1980. It'd all gone like the rocking scene. It was all rockabilly and all that. It was all the 50s clothes, American clothes, flat tops and all that.
So when did the whole sort of rock and roll and rockabilly revival start? Because I know early 70s was that big gig at Wembley Stadium, wasn't there? Where the old rock and rollers come over and play.
Oh, do you know what? Do you want me to go and get something from that festival?
Oh, go on. If you get your hand on it, yeah.
All right.
Go on then. What you got?
Right, John. So that festival,
Yeah.
72 one. I would really wanted to go to that because it's just when I got into rock and roll. Literally, I got into it, and then they had this festival at Wembley, right, with Little Richard and Jerry Lee and all these people. Of course, I'd never seen. Literally, just got into them.
So what age were you then, Paul? How old were you?
9.
Right. Okay.
So I said to my mum, "Oh, I really want to go to that." She says, "No way you're going to that because there's going to be Teddy Boys there." Right. But she let me go to get Gary Glitter.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So I'm all right with Gary Glitter, but not Teddy Boys.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, my aunt went. My aunt went with one of her boyfriends, right? As a sort of way of checking it out for me so I could live sort of vicariously through her experience, right? So I said, just get me whatever they're selling there, like T-shirt, whatever. Just get me something, right? And so I was hoping that she was going to get me like a Jerry Lee or a Little Richard one, but they didn't have any. So she got me this instead.
Oh, wow.
And
so did they play? Did they play that festival?
yeah, they play support, John, right? Now, can you see how small it is?
Yeah. You can still get in that. Of course you can still get in that, Paul.
Let me show you.
Wow.
Now, at the time, when she brought it back, and I said, I don't want those dirty hippies. And I hated it. And my gran kept it.
Right.
He put it away in a drawer, and I completely forgot about it. And years ago, she dug it out and said, "Do you remember this?" And I went, "Of course." Now knowing who the MC5 were and all that, I was going, "Oh wow, yeah." Do you know what I mean? But that was Malcolm McLaren's stall.
Okay, was it?
Yeah, and if you look at the thing, he's selling clothes with not Vivienne Westwood. It's with I think it's Jordan, as I remember. It's a female assistant.
So was it 72?
72.
72, right? Okay, yeah.
So there's me hoping for a Jerry Lee or a Little Richard one, which of course he went on to sell in Let It Rock, and then they ended up being sold to the punks, like the Vive La Rock one and all that. Yeah. He first sold them to the Teds, and then he sold them to the punks. So I was hoping you obviously get a Jerry Lee or a Little Richard one, but they're not common, but they're around. I don't know anyone who had an MC5 one.
No, fantastic.
Especially not a kiddie one, you know what I mean? Yeah. So my son's really into vintage T-shirts. He says it's like, he was looking at stitching going, you can tell it's this sort of era and all that.
Brilliant. So who else played at that festival on that day?
Well, I'll tell you who was on it, John. It was at the top. It was Bill Haley and the Comets, Jerry Lee, Little Richard, Bo Diddley, Chuck Berry.
Right.
On the support, they had Screaming Lord Sutch, Gary Glitter, and MC5.
Wow.
And Hines.
That's a bit of a strange addition, isn't it, Hines?
Hines, if you watch the footage again, you'll see the lead guitarist is Wilco Johnson.
Is that right? Wow. Wow.
They hired this band from Southend. It's Wilco, you can see, and he's got like hair down here. So instead of his bowl cut,
yeah,
he's got about hair down. It looks terrible.
And has he still got all the Wilco moves, the awkward,
Not so much, because I think if any of that, an old Sutch would say, "Oi, to the back, mate. You're not taking any of my limelight." You know what I mean? So, because they're always egomaniacs. Yeah. But yeah, that's a really weird, that whole gig. My mate went to it. He was older than me, and he said it was just full of Teds, and it was just.
And did it sell out? Was it?
Yeah,
it did.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Stadium. If you look at who was on the bill, or right at the bottom of the bill, there's some really interesting acts on it.
Well, it's interesting because that concert, it really influenced, British music over the next, 8-10 years, didn't it?
Yeah, really did.
The whole revival thing. Absolutely.
There was a whole new wave of Teds.
Yeah.
Came out, like my generation, not the Teds that had carried on being Teds through the 60s. That kept the whole scene going on their own, because there were these guys that just carried on. They hated the Beatles. When Psychedelia came out, it really was too much. It was like that was the living end then, and they retreated into all these pubs to listen to Charlie Feathers and that.
Fair enough. Right, I'll show you some more records. Right, am I pronouncing this right? Johnny Bucket, or can I call him Johnny Bucket?
Oh yeah. Let me play with your poodle.
Let me play with your poodle. Yeah.
That's like an innuendo one.
Is it?
I mean, some people like them. That's not my cup of tea, John.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. Okay. Joe Clay, Crackerjack.
Oh, which one is it? Oh, Fantastic Vic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crackerjack?
Crackerjack.
Is it Get on the Right Track, Baby?
Get on the right track.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. That's such a great double-sider. That band is an all-black band.
Oh, is it? Right.
Mickey Baker on guitar.
Right. I don't know who Mickey Baker is.
He's the guy who played on all the Screaming Jay Hawkins ones in the 50s.
Okay.
I Fell on You and that. All the classic ones, basically. And then he is half of Mickey and Sylvia.
Oh, is that right?
Strange.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That Mickey Baker. Yeah.
Yeah, right, okay.
And he plays on that. And he did 4 tracks for Vic. It's RCA. It's an RCA subsidiary.
Okay.
Joe Clay was a white Louisiana, I think he was a bus driver originally or something, but he came and he was very young when he did those, like 18 or 19. And he was lucky enough to get this all black band. They're cracking tracks, John.
Get on the right track, baby. Get on the right track, baby. Get on the right track, baby. Well, now come on home and treat me wrong again. Get on the right track, baby. Get on the right track, baby. Get on the right track, baby. Well, now come on home and treat me wrong again. Well, I'm the one that loves you. I told you before you lay. I don't believe in badly wrong. Beat somebody else. Get on the right track, baby. Get on the right track, baby.
Good. Right, next up. Brad Suggs and the Swingsters, Charcoal Soup.
Yep. I mean, again, that's not really my cup of tea. It's a bit more hillbilly for me.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Right,
We need Headley for this sort of stuff.
These are all ones that people want, though, John.
Yeah.
These are all collectible. Yeah.
Pop Baby Pop on Flip. Yeah, very good. Right. Bob Luman,
Oh, which one? Red Hot.
Stranger Than Fiction,
Yeah.
You're the Cause of It All. And again,
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, those Rolling Rock ones are all collectible.
Yeah, and there's loads of them in here. Loads of them. Aubrey Cagle, is it?
Or we go,
Bebop
yeah,
Blues?
come along, little girl.
No, there's quite a few by him in here.
Oh, good.
This is Bebop Blues, backed by
Yeah,
Just For You,
yeah, Bebop Blues.
on
Yeah.
Glee. Yeah.
God, he really was deep into it, John. I mean, this is not casual stuff.
No, yeah, I mean, I say there's two
Yeah,
boxes. So this box
yeah,
here, I brought back with me two boxes like this, which were
yeah,
chocker full, you know. So the other box is a bit more straight ahead. It's Jerry Lee Lewis,
yeah.
Bill Haley. It's, you know, there's a big sort of chunk of Eddie Cochran reissues,
Right.
which I think came out in the 70s, didn't they? These things.
Not those rock star ones. Yeah, yeah, rock star. Bless him. He's dead now, Derek. The guy used to do those, Derek Glenister.
Okay.
He was down in Southend, and he was a lovely. That's a boot. That last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a boot. But Derek was a great guy. He was really lovely. He used to come back. He was Eddie Cochran was his hero.
Right.
Eddie Cochran. Where you get Elvis fans that worship Elvis. He
Yeah.
was the same with Eddie Cochran. There's no one who came near him. He collected everything, including master tapes and things.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was God, he was absolutely obsessed. He had items of clothing and stuff. And he was always immaculately dressed, Derek. And I always thought he's probably gay because he always used to have a young chap in with him. Not a boy,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, but a young man, you know, always slightly effete, you know. And Derek was into the whole guitar thing. That's why he loved Eddie Cochran. He loved rock and roll guitar.
Right. Okay. What else we got then? Got a picture sleeve here.
Oh, the Love Me the Phantom, yeah, on Doc.
So what's all that about?
Right now, this was a song that was
On dot, yeah.
yeah that was legendary because for the ridiculous reason that there were a rumor went round that it was Pat Boone. Now,
Okay, right.
I'm sure you must have heard it, haven't you, John?
I've not heard this. Now carry on.
Oh God, please, you've got to play that later, right? But when you play it, just remember that people honestly thought that was Pat Boone. Robert Plant got 3 originals of those.
Okay.
He told me himself. He was very proud to tell me he had 3 copies of that. But it's a legendary rockabilly record. The Cramps covered it really early on.
Right.
Yeah, so a lot of people got into it through the Cramps version.
Oh, right. I didn't realise I covered that.
Oh God, it's mental.
Let's go! First your lips and mine, and the lips for holiday. God, I turn to last. There's the things we want to do. Don't hesitate, I can't wait. Love me. Things in my soul, why? Every muscle in my body's burning with desire. Baby, kiss me too. Make me know you're mine. Love me with desire. This is fine. Don't hesitate, I can't wait. Love me.
I mean, this guy has really delved into it, isn't he?
Yeah, right. Laura Lee Perkins, Gonna Rock My Baby.
What? And Don't Wait Up? Is it Don't Wait Up on the other side?
Come On Baby on the flip.
Oh, Detour. Now, let me tell you about Detour.
Look at the detour bag as well there. Look.
Well, now they're actually 80s, John.
Okay.
They were made by a guy called Bob Jones, who was a mastering engineer and a cutter. He was a contemporary of Porky's.
Okay.
Bob's hero was Dwayne Eddy. He used to have his studio up at CTS in Wembley. That is his vanity project. I don't think he made any money on those because he spent so money doing those bags. And has it got a cutout center as well? Right, not on that one.
Yeah.
But on some, they've got like he found, this is how mad Bob is, right? He found in an old RCA pressing plant a tri-center press for a lathe, thing. And he did this limited edition. Oh, I've got one. Do you mind if I get it, John?
Go on, bro. Yeah, go on. Yeah, I like this. Detour Records, your hotline to the hit parade. Fantastic. Yeah. There's something about a company sleeve which is as a collector, you can't beat it, can you? Sometimes more so than a picture sleeve. The company sleeve is a thing of beauty, that is.
Well, I am one for company sleeves, as Bob was, obviously, because when you are a 45 RPM pervert, one of the things that's just as important as the music is the artwork on the label and the company sleeve. And then you can take it a step further with your actual like EP covers and things like that.
Yeah.
And then you're into like Caravaggio, Botticelli, Raphael, Michelangelo sort of level, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's this thing. Look at this, John.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
So this is what a pervert Bob is. He made an Excello record.
Wow.
With a Tricenter. These are really limited. I got one obviously off him, but I think he did Ace pressed this up for him. I can't remember how many they did, John. There's not a lot of them, but oh man, have a look. Can you see it's like an Ace? Have a look at the tracks on there. They're really great, man.
Slim Harper, Lazy Lester, yeah.
But Bob found this thing, this bit of machinery that made the Tricenters, and so he was absolutely over the moon. So
you would be, wouldn't you? You would be,
he's a mastering engineer in cutting and all. He loves all that stampers. He sniffs stampers, So but that's one of my favourites. That is really fantastic. If you ever see it, it's really worth picking up.
Next up, talking about Ace, there's quite a few bits and bobs on Ace, as you'd expect. Hal Harris.
Oh, fantastic, man. Oh, what a guitarist, John.
So I don't know when, and Jitterbop Baby.
You know what? Jitterbop Baby was actually covered by a group called Whirlwind, who I saw supporting Ian Dury and the Blockheads.
Right.
The guy died quite early, Nigel Dixon, the singer. But they used to do a terrific set, and they used to do that, innit? But no, that's a classic single, that one.
Yeah, nice tune.
Jitterbop, jitterbop, we're gonna rock a jitterbop, we're gonna rock a jitterbop, we're gonna rock a jitterbop. She's my jitterbop, baby, jitterbop, jitterbop, my jitterbop, baby, jitterbop, jitterbop, my jitterbop, baby. We're gonna dance tonight, jitterbop, jitterbop. Well, I'm about to swing this chick in the world. When we're at a party, she's the rockin'est girl. Flip-top socks and eye-living shoes. When she starts dancing and I lose my blues. She's my jitterbop, baby, jitterbop, jitterbop, my jitterbop, baby, jitterbop, jitterbop, my jitterbop, baby. We're gonna dance tonight, jitterbop, jitterbop, jitterbop.
Yeah.
And here we go, Jimmy Lloyd, Rockin'. I think this is an 80s.
That Rocket in My Pocket.
I got a rocket in my pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're Gone, Baby. Where the Rear the Rosa flows and the beginning of the end.
Yeah. That's like one of those boots, John.
Yeah, I think there's quite a few which I assume are
an 80s one. So the fact that he was still collecting them in the 80s, he obviously didn't lose interest in it.
So it's so these sort of picture sleeves, I think they're European or either Dutch or German.
That's right. I think that's your best bet. I mean, because so much stuff came out of Holland and Germany, rockabilly.
Right, so I just got random stuff here, mate. I've got to say, when I normally do the pub videos, right, and whoever joins us, I can normally have a conversation, pretty much fudge a conversation about anything that they show,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This, I feel like I can't say anything because I don't know anything about this stuff at all.
That's one of the exciting things about it, John, isn't it? And you know, immediately you're going through the core of it. You know, once you've been through all these 45s, you will have the absolute core understanding of rockabilly. The rest of it's like ephemera, really. You know, or just what's they called? What's it? When you're peripheral.
Yeah.
It's peripheral. But so you're right. You've got the center of it. So you've gone from a novice to like a magus.
There you go. But it's one of these things, isn't it? So I was in the record shop yesterday. So he just brought in 3,000 records. To be fair to him, I mean, he'll say this himself. He didn't have a clue what he bought.
No,
You know, he didn't know most of these records, but he just, took a flyer on it. Now, from my point of view, seeing at 3,000 records, most of which I don't know, that's really exciting because I look for records every day and you see the same records again and again
oh,
and again and again. And in this collection, there's no rock music. There's none of your standard 80s pop or whatever, it is all, and even if it's not necessarily valuable, there's still lots of country in there. There's old time jazz, all of which is fantastic music. It might not be too collectible, at
yeah,
the moment. I don't know, but
yeah. But he only bought good music, didn't he? At the end
he
of it.
only bought good music, yeah.
Yeah.
An example of it is this is a cracker. This a nice bit of R&B. Saturday Night Fish Fried by Louis Jordan.
Oh, great. Classic.
Like,
They were at the Revival record series.
yeah, and
They're
that's a classic.
pretty good ones. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Right, here we go. A bit of fun here. Janice Martin, My Boy Elvis.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
So,
she actually came back over in the 80s and played on the rocking scene.
oh, did she really?
She went down a storm because she did all those, My Boy Flat Top and Cracker Jack and all that.
So that's sort of late 50s in it originally, and I suppose this is a late 70s reissue.
They were reissued for the rocking scene because she suddenly became very popular because they put an album out in '77 called the RCA Victor Rock and Rollers, and they put, I think, Drugstore Rock and Roll and My Boy Elvis, I think, on there, and from that there became a demand for stuff.
Everybody, come on down. The man with the guitar just hit town. It's up like a rocket, and there he goes, rocking from his head down to his toes. My boy Elvis, real rock. My boy Elvis, real rock. With his family who Elvis sing to me. Heartbreak Hotel in blue suede shoes. He walks away with all my blues. Take my troubles, take my pain, load 'em on that mystery train. My boy Elvis, real rock. My boy Elvis.
I don't know, just all sorts of shit here, mate. Right, so George Fleming and some of my, I mean, I think
Oh, I'm going to tell on you and the Shade.
yeah,
Yeah, nice. See that again? That's a oh, is that Roller Coaster?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, roller coaster, yeah,
Well, that's a legit reissue, John.
right,
That's done by a guy called John Beecher,
right.
who used to have a record shop down in New Malden called Smoky Joe's Cafe, and it literally was a cafe and a record shop. Can you imagine this? What these nutters used to do back in the 70s, John? So half of it, right? He's cooking egg and chips, right? The records on the other side, right? So he's going, yeah, well, yeah, cook, egg and chips and all that, and beans and all that, and then what's some Jerry Lee and some Babioli, It's like, I'm just thinking, mate.
That sounds
What
like
a
heaven to me.
reason.
Because I reckon that egg and chips is probably my favourite meal, Paul. So there you go.
I have to have that stuff because when I was growing up, something like egg and chips wasn't too frequent. I mean, we didn't have that regularly. because it meant cooking the chips. You know,
Yeah.
you must remember back in the day before oven chips.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Little chip
You know,
pan.
well, your mum had to peel them, didn't she? You had to peel them, cut up the potatoes. My mum used to have this metal thing, and you just used to push the potatoes through to make the chips.
Yeah.
And then a great big dangerous thing of boiling oil on the.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, I got to say, it's the flip for us, the opposite for us, because we pretty much used to live on egg and chips because it was cheap.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so there
I
you
know
go.
what you're saying. Well, our staple was fish fingers and beans.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
You know, that was it.
Right. Kids of today don't know the board, do they? Right.
So, you know,
Ken
oh,
Davis.
nice shook shake.
Yeah.
Yeah, shook shake like a big mixed cake. Yeah.
So Ken Davis, I think, could have come up with a bit more, made more of an effort with a more of a rock and roll name. You know
He's
what I mean?
really made no effort
He's
there.
made no effort at all, has he, on
He'd
Ken?
be great as an estate agent.
He would be, yeah. I
Yeah.
reckon so, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, there you go. Right, there's Ken. Right. Thunder and Lightning, Tutor Boatman.
Oh,
Not
fantastic. Tutor Boatman. Now you're talking. Again, that's a proper reissue. That's
yeah,
Derek Glenn.
on Rockstar, yeah.
Yeah.
In 1980.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Yeah. What a name. Tutor Boatman.
Now he's made more of an effort. I'll give him that. 10 out of 10 for effort, old Tutor.
Yeah.
Right. Andy Starr.
Oh, nice. Which one? Oh, fantastic. Is that a Rolling Rock EP? It
Yeah,
is.
Rolling Rock EP. So
Yeah.
rocking and reeling country style.
Yeah.
Those squeaky shoes.
Them squeaky shoes, yeah.
Yeah.
That is
Wild Woman.
fantastic. Fantastic, John. Well collected all those Rolling Rock EPs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quite a few of those with the picture sleeves in there.
Oh, have you? You've got the Lee Finn one.
I've got, here we go.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Women.
Women. Aren't they great covers?
Yeah, fantastic covers. Yeah,
If
really
you
well
look
done. These are.
hard on Ronnie's sleeves, you'll sometimes find a Star of David
Okay.
because he was Jewish. So he liked to put the old Star of David in.
Yeah, you can see it there. Look, so that this one there, you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. They're great, those EPs, man.
David Ray.
Fantastic. They're well collectible now.
Rockin' and reelin', rockin' and reelin', rockin' and reelin', country style, and we'll go rockin' and reelin', we'll go rockin' and reelin', we'll go rockin' and reelin', country style. Hey, we'll go rockin' and reelin', we'll go rock, 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 we'll go rockin' and reelin', country style. There's an old barn dance down the road.
There you go. Do you look at any more?
Great batch, John. No, that was a good batch, wasn't it? I
Yeah,
thought.
that's all right, that isn't it? You know, so
Yeah.
you get an idea what's in there. But it was, as I say, from my point of view, seeing a box of records that I know nothing about.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he said, "Oh, just take them home and give them a spin, and if you like them, let us know, whatever sort of thing." That's cool. So
Okay.
last night, when I was going through that lot, they're all 2 minutes long, aren't they? I spent all night. I got home about 5 o'clock, went to bed at 1 in the morning. I just played God knows how many rockabilly tunes last night.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I mean, basically, you've had like an education overnight, haven't you?
Hmm.
And these records were specifically made for the rocking scene. So it had gone from the Teddy Boy scene, where they listened to certain sort of rockabilly, and then it went into this rockabilly scene sort of thing. You know, it's slightly sort of the mood of it changed a little bit. It's interesting. I mean, I was there at the time. You know, when it went from Ted to rockabilly. I wasn't sure at the time when it went to rockabilly. Mate, mine had Matt Curtis done, which is a flat top, but you've still got fins at the side.
Yeah.
Then you've got this little bit that comes down at the front. And he had it done, I thought, because we all had huge Chris, you know what I mean? I don't know about that. But of course, I had to go and have one because I didn't want to be left out, sort of thing. I hated it immediately. I couldn't wait to grow it back, you know, and I didn't like not having a drape and all that, you know what I mean? But eventually I came round. But I never liked it as much as the old Ted thing.
Yeah.
That was mental. I mean, some of those Teds were insane. I mean, they really were, John. I mean, they were such great characters. If you want to know about that scene, There's a guy called Razor Smith, guy called Noel, and he did, I think, 33 years for armed bank robbery.
Yes.
You know the guy I mean?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, he's done 2 books on it.
Yeah.
One of the ones he writes about is a club we used to go to in Catford called the Squire, and it was owned by Charlie Richardson, of the infamous, Richardsons. And Charlie's eldest son Mark was on that rocking scene. He was one of the guys that used to hang out at the Squire. So they used to have a contingency of guys that worked for the Craze, and obviously you know, Mark and that lot, and then there's also all these other sort of peripheral characters, and then some people with genuine mental health problems. And to keep all this contained, you imagine it with alcohol given in alcohol and speed, right? To contain it, they had to have road rats. This bike group called the Road Rats. They were security. So it's amazing. And I was literally the youngest one in there, John. And I had to be at school the next day. So what I was most terrified about was being chucked out for being too young, So I was always very polite to everyone, and I would just sort of be lurking and watching it all going on. But Jesus, I mean, the fights I saw there and all the skullduggery, homosexual rampant in the toilets. I mean, really proper, like tough geezers. It was such an education, because to me, as a young lad, you think all gay men are like Quentin Crisp, and once you realise, no, there's actually these really butch geezers who actually like beating up other geezers because it turned them on, like the Craze,
Yeah.
So there was all this going on. But I mean, for a young lad, honestly,
I mean, an education, Paul. I'm sure it was an education for you.
It's terribly traumatic.
Fantastic. Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to stick some needle drops in amongst that lot as well.
Yeah.
We'll have a few tunes and that. But thank you for that.
There, John. There's some really good ones in there.
Yeah.
But dig that when you get that certain female out.
Yeah.
Flip it over. She Set Me Free on the other side. That was Lux and Ivy.
Yeah.
That's Ivy's favourite record.
Yeah. Well, I'll stick that in there definitely. So.
Yeah. Nice one.
Lovely. Well,
right, John, nice speaking. Yeah.
I'll see you down the pub next time.
I'm walking down the road with a worried mind, thumb in the air, trying to get me a ride. Well, I wonder if she still loves me. I love her, but she set me free.